What's going on, everybody? It's FREEDO, back again for your Overwatch. Excited to be talking about this subject. Ranked mode is finally coming. This gives me an opportunity to discuss the things that Kaplan brought up that he's going to be bringing alongside competitive mode, but more importantly, the absence of the biggest talk in competitive mode, which of course is single hero limit, because it seems to be just accepted among the pro community that we want single hero limit, and they seem to expect to be getting that, and I don't know if it's going to happen because Blizzard owns the game, and it's a completely separate debate. So I'll get to that after we talk about some initial excitement for the competitive mode. First and foremost, this gameplay is of the golden era of Widowmaker prior to the Widowmaker body shot and scope nerfs. And I gotta say, looking back at it, I feel a little dirty knowing how she plays now compared to the dominance a player like me could invoke onto another team. And I'm a little bit more convinced that the nerfs were legitimate. I'm getting off topic, talking about Widow. So we need to forget the golden age of pub stomping with Widowmaker, and she's honed in now to be viable at the pro level. However, it's has its ramifications at the lower skilled levels, as I thought it would. But ultimately, in my heart of hearts, I care more about the competitive side of the game personally. When I speak about characters being powerful for everybody, I'm trying to look out for everybody else, but deep down inside, I want the game to play as difficult as it can for my enjoyment, because I want to have a challenge, actually. But I know that as soon as you start to make a game that difficult, it alienates a lot of players who don't want to play that difficult of a game. So Overwatch is on that line of enjoyability and fun, and I think it leans towards punishing already. However, once the tryhards like myself can get into this competitive mode, which sounds like it's going to be poppin'. Why? Because, as Jeff explained, good old homeboy Jeff, every character is going to have, or player rather, is going to have a specific skill ranking. 1 to 100. When you play the game, it'll show you your teammates, who's in a pre-made. A lot of information is going to be given to the players, which doesn't happen in a lot of other games. So Blizzard should be commended for seemingly doing this right. Now, it hasn't come out yet, so I can't praise it fully, but it sounds good. And what sounds even better to me, and some of you may not agree with this, especially those of you who don't want to play ranked, but the exclusive unlocks for cosmetics for ranked play. Mastering the game and being able to show that off gives that extra level of satisfaction. That's not a word, I made that up. To the unlock system that isn't there currently, because now you get skins, they're kind of random. There's a little bit of controversy on how the skins are doled out. The ranked skins are completely for something, for accomplishing something in the game. And I think that's going to add an extra carrot for players to chase after and be worth more, ultimately, than whatever rank tier they get put in. Because a lot of times in games, all you're playing for is that shiny medal next to your name. Other competitive games do it differently, but I think this is the best way to do it, actually. Will the top Widow in the world get a golden Widow's Kiss? Should I be gunning for that? That'd be cool. I really like that, and I think that's really good. And I'm also glad to hear that they're changing the game modes, because that's something that really I don't stand behind fully in this game right now. I love the game. I think Palo plays great, but the other two modes aren't quite there for me in terms of completeness. But I love the core of the game so much that I kind of overlook that, and I'm willing to accept a few flaws here or there just based on how great the experience is overall. The game modes, they're not cutting it for me yet, so I really hope they impress me on the changes they're making. Jeff didn't explain that yet, so there's nothing more to say on that topic. So hopefully, ranked mode will siphon off some of the try-hard sweat from quick match and make that more enjoyable for a wider skill range of players. And conversely, give a place where try-hard sweaties like myself can compete and see where we stack up. But I told you there's another topic that I have to get to, which is very important and controversial. Single hero limits. I may be in the minority in this, but I don't think we should force the game to have a single hero limit, because I don't think that's where the design of Overwatch was intended. I think it was specifically free for a reason. There is no limits to the composition you can make, and what that causes is more weighted strategies. If you want 5 Tracers and a Lucio, you can weight your team into that playstyle, and your team comp merges into something completely different from the standard, even pro meta. But it might be viable, and it might be cheese, and a lot of times it is. And I too was devastated when I first got into pro Overwatch and I saw 2 Winstons, 2 Lucios, 2 Tracers was the meta. And worse yet, when a team is winning with that formula and the other team can't seem to beat it, their response was to mirror it. So instead of some high-skilled competitive game, you just had a big Super Smash Brothers melee fight in the center of a control point, everything jumping, and it was chaos. I didn't like it at all. I think it looked terrible. But I have come around on this because I think if we give the pros enough time to develop proper counters and an understanding of the game, a command of the game, to know what characters they can easily switch to punish a team like that and quickly take advantage, that will develop. But initially, teams are a little skittish about getting countered themselves and would rather just fight on an even playing field, because that's kind of the mentality of a lot of top-tier pro players. They don't want to be put in uncomfortable situations, even if it makes them lose. There's too much on the line to start making risks. But I think it's a much more enjoyable spectating experience to nudge these pros into that area. A lot of them are used to TF2 and Tribes and Quake and very static games, which may arguably be more competitive than Overwatch. I don't know. But Overwatch needs to be its own thing. And though single hero limit does have its benefits, don't get me wrong. When certain characters are overpowered, like McCree, and Double McCree was dominating the game, nobody wanted to see that. I hear you completely. But I think we should give Blizzard the opportunity to balance the game, to fix those broken lineups a bit. There always will be one that might stand out a little bit too much, but with enough tweaking, I think we can get to a nice place where the interplay metagame of the game in the pro level starts to act and counteract in an interesting way, rather than it being so subtle. Because right now, team compositions in single pick feel very standard, in a way that it seems like they'll be standard forever, with the same top 8 or 10 characters getting picked all the time, when there's 21 of them. For better or for worse, I would rather allow the infinite pick meta to develop, because I think it enables us to see more types of team compositions, even if it might alienate some heroes down the line. Even the dreaded 2 Winstons, 2 Lucios, 2 Tracers, I think is counterable. But it might take a minute for teams to realize that they can counter it. I mean, call me crazy, but to me, I would think 2 Zenyatas, 2 Reapers, and 2 McCrees would shut down all that swarming and insta-kill the Lucios and Tracers. Or maybe you toss in a Roadhog in there or something, I don't know. And though that might feel uncomfortable to overcompensate your team comp to counter cheese compositions, I think that's what the fans want to see. At least the casual ones anyway, and it's what I want to see. I'm sure plenty of you are going to disagree with me on this, and I would love to hear your reasons why. Let me know in the comment section below. I'm always active in there. I love engaging with you guys, and I love Overwatch, man. It's in a really good place. I'm excited where it's going. That's been it for today. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. It really helps us out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with your friends who play the game. We upload each and every day, so there's always something to watch. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.